हाय हरिणी, कैसे हो? योर वॉइस इज नॉट कमिंग। म्यूट किया है क्या माइक?
हाँ हाँ, नाउ आ रहे हैं ना?
यस यस,
हाँ, वॉइस इज क्लियर राइट?
या इट इज करेक्ट।
ओके।
आई गेस दे बोथ आर अनेबल टू ज्वाइन।
Yes, I think.
Student. Oh.
Why Sonal is not able to join?
Yes.
नहीं, सर का फोटो तो नहीं दिख रहा है।
Audible?
Yes,
sir.
you are audible, sir, but you are not visible.
I can see myself.
Visible, right? Not visible?
Sir is visible.
हाँ सर, visible.
Why?
Sir, you are not visible.
Nobody is seeing me.
No sir,
I can.
नमस्ते सर।
I think
Namaste.
Sanjit was not able to.
Namaste.
Yeah, now you are
Namaste.
visible.
I didn't do anything. Became visible.
Yes, sir. Sonal, audible?
Yeah.
Harini, audible?
हाँ, yes, audible. Yes.
ओके। सो सभी को नमस्ते और सभी को एपिसोड 2 में स्वागत है। मी संगीता सिंह फ्रॉम भोपाल, हरिणी फ्रॉम पुदुचेरी एंड सोनल फ्रॉम महाराष्ट्र। वी ऑल थ्री वेलकम Dr. Rajkumar sir, our guest speaker. He is an associate professor and HOD of Roganidana and Vikruti Vigyana Department, Government of Puducherry, Mahi. As I have elaboratedly give a brief introduction of Dr. Rajkumar sir in episode 1. So today we will just start with briefing with the what we have discussed in episode 1, and then we will discuss the more questions in episode 2. My network is okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So in order to brief what happened in episode 1, I will like to I will like to say कि Harini, please elaborate the first I want to describe that कि episode 1 में जो 3 main चीज हमने discuss की थी वो थी importance and ideal way of learning Sanskrit, पदार्थ विज्ञान and how to study Samhita. This was a major discussion of our topic in episode 1. There were also many several questions and some basic जो है कि बहुत सारी चीजों को भी और सर ने बताया था. So keeping in mind ये 3 मेजर क्वेश्चंस को हम वापस से ब्रीफ करेंगे जो हमने एपिसोड 1 में देखा था। तो हरिणी, प्लीज एलाबोरेट द आइडियल वे ऑफ लर्निंग संस्कृत एज एक्सप्लेन बाय सो.
Namaste, sir. Namaste to everyone. So, as we saw in episode 1, sir very detailedly elaborated the ideal way of understanding and incorporating how to incorporate Sanskrit in our BAMS curriculum. I would like to say that Sanskrit is the language through which our Ayurvedic Shastras are explained, and it is the medium through which this medical science and its innate objectives can be understood and applied. So, like, um, it, uh, I can say that most of the students who are joining BAMS uh, are very new to Sanskrit and Ayurveda both. So, if like at the end what they do is they feel like as it is a burden to learn a new language and a new science at the same stretch. So there are many points in our Sanskrit curriculum in our BAMS like Sandhi Vicheda, Vachya Parivartana, etc. So if those things are elaborated, taught and understood with the examples of taking slokas from our own Samhitas, it would be made more interesting, and the students will get to learn Sanskrit and Ayurveda in one stretch. And also, sir elaborated about the importance of learning shlokas in Ayurveda in the last session. Like in the same way, since they are new to this course, again, like one more step of difficulty they face is like learning shlokas. So that can be made easy and interesting by learning how to do Anvaya from the shlokas, so that it will be it will definitely pay a better way of understanding and to remember those shlokas for future references. So, sir, there is one question from a third year BAMS student. Students who have cleared first year and who are in their second, third, and final year BAMS courses, how can they start learning Sanskrit at this point? Like they have, no, they didn't get that insight in their first year. They got to know from the last episode. So they are asking like, how can we do that thing at this stage?
Actually, there are no shortcuts. Now, what they can do is they can learn so that they will be knowing what they are learning, and they can relearn. That is the only way they can do. There is no shortcut. It's a language, but language used in Shastra is not poetic or something which can be explained by your own. So you can learn from Sanskrit verses, from means correct meaning should be given. Such texts you can adopt, and more important is its application. So in application level, how it is possible, that is what a student needs to learn. If it is not in colleges, then how to learn is we have developed the methodology which is science-based, evidence-based Ayurveda. So from that, they have to depend on.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question is there from a first year BMS student. Is Sanskrit only the medium to understand Ayurveda? If yes, then why many doctors who know Sanskrit speak rubbish?
It's a little bit feeble. I didn't hear the question fully.
Sir, can you hear me?
Repeat the question, please.
Is Sanskrit, yes, sir, yes, sir. Is Sanskrit only the medium to understand Ayurveda? If yes, then why many doctors who know Sanskrit are speaking rubbish?
Doctors who know Sanskrit?
are speaking rubbish.
Are not in the limelight.
No, no. Why they are, even though they know Sanskrit, why are they speaking, like explaining things in a wrong way? Why are they not able to comprehend the things which are said as it is?
That's what. In Shastra, you cannot explain in an imaginative way, or you cannot interpret in your own imagination. So, Shastra is having definite objective for each and every sutra, each and every sloka. There is a definite objective. So, that objective, how to find out is by Tantra Yuktis. The link between Vakya and Artha is given by Tantra Yukti. So, when a patient comes, you cannot diagnose in different ways. According to your understanding, you cannot diagnose. Then it will not become a Shastra. Shastra is which is having standard diagnostic treatment guidelines, and the same approach should be done by all the learned physicians. That is what the science says. So, if you learn Sanskrit also, you should know a Sanskrit teacher cannot teach Ayurveda because it needs professional knowledge, or it needs how to apply in patients. That is more important. That knowledge can be given only by Ayurveda physicians who knows to interpret slokas and with Tantra Yukti and Sanskrit language. So Sanskrit language is not only enough, they need to have that applicatory skill, application of these slokas. It is not just the meaning of the slokas. So application, it should be in a uniform way. So it should be learned and practiced by a science-based, evidence-based practitioner. Otherwise, it becomes their own yukti, and they will be interpreting in their own way. Only a science-based practitioner can do this.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question. They are like first year students are asking, like, please give us one example. Like, do I need to buy any grammar books or other things to learn Sanskrit? Like,
right now, there are no such texts. So, we need to understand the Shastra, but from those who know Shastra as well as Sanskrit. So, such books are not there. So, you can, in Malayalam, Raghavan Tirunal's books are there, from which you can understand the Anvaya, you can understand the meanings, and afterwards you can go for practical purpose or application. But there are no means all over India. There is no specific book from which you can learn Sanskrit. Vyakhya is there. It's what I have learned is from Tirunal Padsar's, Raghavan Tirunal Padsar's Vyakhya, Prakashika Vyakhya. So I can suggest that, but it's in Malayalam. And how to learn Sanskrit is not explained by an Ayurvedic doctor or Ayurvedic physician. So such books are not there.
okay,
We have to change the curriculum.
Oh.
So, for professional upgrading should be done. We have to change the curriculum because the students now they are not learning Sanskrit properly. They are not learning basics properly, and they are not able to apply because they are not taught in that way. So finally, when they come out, they will be totally confused. They will not be having the basics, as well as they are not able to understand the meanings of the slokas. They are not able to interpret, and they will be like all other unprofessional folklore Vaidyas or Nadi Vaidyas like. They won't be knowing what exactly science says or what exactly Ayurvedic science says. So they will be practicing with so many medicines, or they will be blindly following some others' experiences, and they will also get so many patients and they will become famous, and such that it's going on the present situation. It has to change. If it has to change, it should be from curriculum itself. Syllabus itself should be changed. That Sanskrit is to be taught by Ayurveda doctors as well as who knows Sanskrit very well, and that should be made in the curriculum of PG of basic principles, or uh, fundamentals are to be taught by basic principles who have good knowledge of Sanskrit also. So it should start from curriculum.
Okay. Now it's over to you, Sangeeta.
Yeah. Thank you, Harini, for briefing the importance of संस्कृत. पदार्थ विज्ञान के बारे में जैसे कि सर ने यहाँ से स्टार्ट किया था कि हमने पदार्थ विज्ञान पढ़ तो लिया है लेकिन हम उसे अप्लाई नहीं कर पाते हैं. जो हमने फर्स्ट ईयर में पढ़ा है ना ही हम उसे सेकेंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर, फोर्थ ईयर ना ही हम उसे प्रैक्टिस में अप्लाई कर पाते हैं. सो व्हाट इज द कोर रीजन बिहाइंड पदार्थ विज्ञान? तो जो हम लैक कर रहे हैं अपने करिकुलम में, तो पदार्थ विज्ञानों के बारे में सर ने ये कहा था कि सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ साइंस. तो सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ आयुर्वेदा क्या है? आयुष है. तो लॉज ऑफ नेचर इज पदार्थ विज्ञान. जैसे सर्वदा सर्वभावानम सामान्यम वृद्धि कारणम हास्य हेतु विशेषस्य प्रवृत्ति उभयस्यस्तु. तो ये जो लॉज ऑफ नेचर है पदार्थ विज्ञान के, वो सामान्य, विशेष, द्रव्य, गुण, कारण, जो 6 पदार्थ बताए गए हैं वो हमें मदद करते हैं. दे हेल्प अस टू अंडरस्टैंड, टू एक्सप्लोर, ट्रीट, अप्लाई. तो ये सारी चीजें जो हमारे आयुर्वेद की जो बेसिक्स हैं, जो हमारे आयुर्वेद के जो सिद्धांत है, उपदेश है, निर्देश है, आदेश है, प्रमाण है, ये इन सारी चीजों से जो आयुर्वेद बना है वो इन 6 पदार्थों से ही हम उन बेसिस से हम जो है कि सीख सकते हैं. पर इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट हमें जो है कि दर्शन शास्त्र ये सारी चीजें भी पढ़ाया जाता है. चाहे दर्शन शास्त्र कोई भी हो, सांख्य दर्शन हो, न्याय दर्शन हो, वैशेषिक दर्शन हो इत्यादि, उनमें जो शास्त्र मतलब जो दर्शन शास्त्र हमें पढ़ाया जाता है वो फिलोसफिकल है. फिलोसफिकल का मतलब ये होता है कि हम उसे डेमोन्स्ट्रेट नहीं कर सकते हैं, पर जो आयुर्वेद का पदार्थ है वो हम उसे डेमोन्स्ट्रेट कर सकते हैं. पंच महाभूत को हम डेमोन्स्ट्रेट कर सकते हैं, रिप्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. तो पर हम फिलोसफिकल के कोई भी बातों को डेमोन्स्ट्रेट या रिप्रोड्यूस नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो ये बेसिक अंतर होता है कि जैसे क्योंकि हमें पता है कि आयुर्वेद जो है कि अप्लाइड, फंडामेंटल और प्योर साइंस है. तो इसीलिए उसे एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए हमें दर्शन शास्त्र की जरूरत नहीं है. जो पदार्थ विज्ञान जिसे आयुर्वेद को समझ सकते हैं, सामान्य, विशेष, द्रव्य, गुण, कर्म, समवाय, हमें उसे पढ़ने की जरूरत है, ना कि इन सारी चीजों की. उसे कंक्लूड करते हुए सर ने ये भी बताया था कि फंडामेंटल साइंस करके 3 पेपर होने चाहिए, जैसे करिकुलम में संस्कृत, पदार्थ विज्ञान और बेसिक साइंस अष्टांग हृदय का, ताकि स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द करिकुलम जब हम चेंज करेंगे तभी हम जो है कि उसके एप्लीकेशंस को जान पाएंगे और अप्लाई कर पाएंगे हमारे डे टू डे प्रैक्टिस में, और सिद्धांत को समझने में, आयुर्वेद को समझने में हम उसे अप्लाई कर पाएंगे. इसी को एलाबोरेट करते हुए सर ने ये भी बताया था कि साइंस बेस्ड, एविडेंस बेस्ड आयुर्वेदा ही क्यों, SBBA ही नाम क्यों रखा गया, क्योंकि सर ने ये कहा था कि साइंस बेस्ड एविडेंस जो है कि इट मीन्स कि जो भी आदेश, निर्देश, सिद्धांत साइंस में, आयुर्वेद साइंस में मेंशन है वो साइंस बेस्ड एविडेंस है. मतलब पहले से ही एविडेंट है ये सारे आदेश, निर्देश, सिद्धांत और जो भी मेंशन है साइंस में. और बेस्ड आयुर्वेदा मतलब कि हम जो लॉजिक लगा के उस सिद्धांत, उपदेश, निर्देश को हम लॉजिक लगा के अप्लाई करते हैं, वो बेस्ड आयुर्वेदा है. सो ऑल्सो हिस्ट्री का भी सर ने बताया था कि हिस्ट्री लर्न करने के लिए जरूरी है बट एग्जाम पर्पस के लिए जरूरी नहीं है. सो इन ऑर्डर टू कंक्लूड पदार्थ विज्ञान, एक क्वेश्चन स्टूडेंट का आया था फ्रॉम थर्ड ईयर कि आदेश, उपदेश, निर्देश को आप थोड़ा और एलाबोरेट विथ एग्जांपल अगर आप जो है बता सकते हैं.
Yeah. what you have explained is exactly the correct thing. When we learn other things like Sankhya Darshana and Vaisheshika or Nyaya Darshana, our objective will be changed. We are not learning the exact method. So what we need to learn the nature of ayus. That is what is needed. So laws of nature in accordance with the basics of life is explained with Padartha. So we need to learn that only so that we need not get confused. With laws of nature, Acharyas have made, so by observation, examining, experimentation, they have found the logics behind that. So natural phenomena, they have been experimenting, they have been experiencing, and they found the logics behind that. And they made certain nirdeshas, adeshas, upadeshas, with which it could be applied. And when they applied the same thing, they got the same result. Same natural environment could be brought back. So it became Siddhantas. Siddhanta is Karya-Karana relation. Cause, effect, mechanism, effect relationship is Siddhanta. With Siddhantas, how to apply, how to understand, and how to apply. That is what is mentioned with Upadeshas, Nirdeshas, and Adeshas. Upadeshas are all the general statements. So what all are the lakshanas of dosha, vyati lakshanas, or avastha lakshanas, dravya lakshanas, samyak sniktha lakshanas. All these are general statements with which the science could be understood. And when we observe the patient, we can understand that these are the things that are developing by these doshas, or this in this vyati, or in this avastha of the disease, or these are the samathadu lakshanas. Like that, we can understand so many things. And there are certain general advices also, like Brahme Muhurte Uttishte. Sharira Chindam Vinivartya Krita Shaucha Vidhistata. So people think that you have to get up at Brahma Muhurta and do all these things in that order. But it cannot be applied like that itself. One word is missing, that Sharira Chindam Vinivartya. So first you have to do what is the status of your body. Then only you proceed. If you are having an inflammation also, Apyanga Majaret Nityam is mentioned, so you can apply oil. It's not fair. So there are upadeshas. That means, that doesn't mean that you have to blindly follow that. Right? So upadeshas are general statements. It cannot be applied in specific situations. What is to be done in specific situations is mentioned as nirdeshas. So indications for snehana. So that is indicated for specific situations. In Ado eva Visarpeshu hidam lankana rukshanam. So that is a specific indication and specific nirdesha, instruction to be followed. Or guidelines which are mentioned is nirdesha. And adesha is order. So you should not deviate from that. It is also specific. Varjya Apyanga Kapagrasta Krita Samshuddhya Ajirniti. Varjya Apyanga. They should not apply oil. Kapagrasta Krita Samshuddhi Ajirni. So they should not apply oil. So it is an order. You should not bypass that. You should not avoid that. Artha Shaktya Nishebhyastu. So Vyayama is to be done only up to half the strength. Belinam Sniktha Bhojana. And contraindications are all adeshas, all rules and regulations, protocols. So Vamana how to do, or Snehapana how to do. Devoshna Manabhishyam Nadi Snigtham Asankaram, food has to be consumed. So you should not deviate from that. You have to strictly follow, scrupulously follow all these instructions. That is Adesha. Nirdesha are specific situations it is mentioned. And Upadeshas are general principles. But general tattvas, general principles, Nirdesha specific principles or guidelines, and Adesha, everything is to be applied in the patient. So we have to assess the status of the patient. For that, pramanas are given. Pratyaksha, Anumana, it starts from Aptobadesha, Pratyaksha, Anumana, and application is Yukti, Yojana. So, these pramanas, we are applying the Siddhantas based on Upadesha, Nirdesha, and Adesha. Hope it's clear.
Yes, sir. It is clear. Very much clear, sir. Well, we'll brief the how to learn and understand Samhita.
How to learn and understand Samhita, that we
Sorry,
need to learn.
how to study the Samhita. Sonal will brief this.
Okay. I thought you are asking the same question once again.
No, sir.
Sir, how to study means, as we know, in very first year, we are learning Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana. So, as the first adhyaya is started, so we have learned the shlok, Brahma Sudutta Yisho Yodo Veda Prajapati Majigraha Savarshino to Sahasraksho Savatidikar Putradikar Muni. तो ये जो श्लोक है तो वो मतलब ऐसे बताया गया है कि ब्रह्मा ने आयुर्वेद कैसे पास ऑन किया बाकी मुनियों के यहाँ पे। तो ये अगर देखा जाए तो फर्स्ट ईयर का स्टूडेंट कोई भी ये श्लोक देखता है तो वो सोचेगा कि आयुर्वेद इज तो स्पिरिचुअल साइंस और वो उस वे में सोचने लगेगा। तो आपका क्या कहना है कि आयुर्वेद स्पिरिचुअल है या इज साइंस?
What do you think? Do you think
Sir,
that
it's
it
a
is
science.
so,
Sir, but first, continue.
Sharira, Indriya, Atma, Manas. Combination is Sayus. Sharira, Indriya, Sattvatma. Samyogo Thari, Jividam.
Jivitam.
Jividam is combination of Sharira, Indriya, Manas, and Atma. Sharira is the instrument with which we do all the activities. Indriya helps in perception as well as to do various activities. Karmendriya, Jnanendriya are there. Jnanendriya helps to percept our environment. 5 kinds of perception happens. And it is processed in Manas. So we are identifying our environment and it is processed in Manas. So Manas is the area where we have knowledge. We store knowledge. Based on knowledge, our Manas will be having sattvic, rajasic or tamasic activities. Or sattvic means which is truthful, trustworthy and honest things, and rajasic means having attachment. So based on their knowledge, they are developing like this. Tamasic means ignorance. And Atma in Ayurveda is that which makes Chetana. Achetanam Kriyavat is Manas, or that which is responsible for all activities is Manas. Based on your knowledge, you will be doing various activities. You will be percepting and you will be understanding based on your knowledge level. And that makes you respond. Chetana one is Atma. So that Chetana or Atma is the responsiveness of that individual. It's not spiritual thing, which is outside the body, it's not. So Hitayus is practicing for social well-being. Ahitayus is which is not socially good for their living conditions. Sukhayus is that which is good for their Sharira and Manas, for personal well-being. Physical and mental well-being, what is needed is Sukhayus. For social well-being, what is needed is Hitayus. So, to explain Hitayus and Sukhayus, Atma is explained. The factor that which gives the feeling of I is Atma. So, it is not spiritual thing or which is beyond our Sharira or Atma. We need not think of something else, because the objective of Ayurvedic Shastra is Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshana Avirasya Vikara Prasamana, or to produce health is the final objective. So it is not a spiritual science. So when Charaka explained, so many things were explained, but when it came to Ashtanga Sangraha, there are no much explanation regarding Atma, which is a basic text which is to be followed. In Ashtanga Sangraha, there are no much references regarding Atma. So that means Atma is Nirvikara. It will not undergo any sort of change. What we need to concentrate is state of Sharira and Manas. That is explained completely in our science. So we need not consider it as spiritual or something supernatural. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, but as we are going to be a Ayurvedic doctor, तो फर्स्ट ईयर के स्टूडेंट या सेकेंड ईयर में भी यही सोचेंगे कि निदान स्थान और चिकित्सा स्थान पहले क्यों नहीं बताया, जबकि सूत्र स्थान पहले बताया है. उसमें तो कोई चिकित्सा है नहीं, ऐसे उनका देखने का व्यू होगा. तो आपको इसके बारे में क्या बताना है?
निदान स्थान क्यों बताए?
सर क्योंकि उस हाँ
सूत्र स्थान निदान स्थान है. So why Sutra Sthan is told first?
Yeah. So because all sutras are mentioned in Sutra Sthanas.
I didn't get the question.
Sir, actually the sequence of sthan means Sutra, Nidam, Viman, जो कोई भी सीक्वेंस है उनका, तो उसमें सर सूत्र स्थान पहले क्यों बताया, या फिर विमान स्थान का इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है, या फिर निदान स्थान और चिकित्सा स्थान क्यों नहीं पहले बताया, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस है.
Importance is Sutrasthana, everything is mentioned in brief, so that you can apply later. So it is not like subject needs to be understood from anatomy, physiology. It's not like that. Ayurvedic science is explained in an entirely different way. Charaka, there was no specific pattern which Acharya Charaka followed. But in Ashtanga Sangraha, the objective was to explain this Ashtangas of Ayurveda. So in brief, what the status of the body and how it is based on Padartha Vijnana or based on laws of nature, te Andamathyadika Kramat or te Vyapinobi Matyor. It is mentioned from the basics and how to understand the dravyas, external substances, what all are dinacharya, rutucharya, etc. mentioned. How doshas get accumulated, how it can produce diseases, and finally their treatment methods are also mentioned. Then it goes for various ganas and all. So in Sutra Sthana itself, the whole science objective is mentioned in Sutra form. Sutra means the shortest form, with which we can further understand what is mentioned in the following chapters. Nidana Sthana starts with Sarva Roga Nidana, but it will not explain any Roga in Sarva Roga Nidana. It explains Dosha Prakopa Nidanas only. The cause of the disease is already mentioned. Sarva Roga Nidanas are only mentioned. How they are getting vitiated and all. And then comes all the diseases. So when a disease comes, how to manage is explained in Matrashitiyam Sutrasthana. Evam Anyanapicha Vyathin Swa Nidana Viparya. Chikilse Anubandhetu Sadi Vyathi Viparita Tadartha Gariva. So all diseases are to be managed first by addressing the cause of the disease. So if you are going directly for Nidana Sthana, you will not be understanding what is to be done further. What you are going to learn is already told in Sutra Sthana itself. And everything is elaborated in further chapters. So when treatment is mentioned, the treatment, pitta treatment, etc. are mentioned. Means the cause, how to address is mentioned in Sutra Sthana itself. And when you go for Vyathi Viparita treatment, you should not directly go for Vyathi Viparita. Though so many Vyathi Viparita Upakramas are mentioned there. Like in Gampire Raktamakrantam Syat Chedat Vadavajayet. So you should not directly go for Vyati Viparita treatment. You have to first Kapadige, Benastesya, Vamanamsa, Virejanam. So you cannot directly go for all these things. You have to understand the Nidana, and many basic things are mentioned like Dusham, Desham, Balam, Kalam, Andam, Prakritim, Vaya, Sukshma, Samikshesham, Dosha, Ushata, Nirupane. So all these things are to be applied later in Chikilsasthana and all these Ashtangas. So when you are explaining from Kaya Chikilsa, then you have to explain everything regarding Kaya Chikilsa, then go for the next Kaya, Bala, Graha, Urtvanga. It's not possible. So all the basics were told in Sutrasthana, then Nidanasthana was explained, then only Sharirasthana comes, then Vimanasthana, how to Pariksha, how to do, how to quantify each and everything. Then came Chikilsasthana and other Angas are also mentioned. If that sequence was that much significant, Acharyas would have definitely told that. So Sutrasthana is must, and other things, that was the sequence in which Acharyas were teaching. So you need to understand in that way only. There is no much importance in understanding Shastra. By knowing this sequence, you will not have any benefit for understanding the Shastra.
Okay. Sangeeta.
So how to study Samita? सर ने बताया था कि दीर्घम जीवितम आरोग्यम धर्मम अर्थम सुख यश पाठ अवबोध अनुष्ठान.
Avagachati.
So
Athigachati.
yes sir.
Yeah.
So how to study समिता के लिए जो 3 मेन चीज सर ने बताई थी वो ये थी कि पाठ अवबोध अनुष्ठान, मतलब कि उस चीज को पढ़ना, लगातार पढ़ना, याद करना, और जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं
अप्लाई भी करना.
हाँ, उसको अवबोध मतलब कि उसे बुद्धि से मतलब परसीव अच्छे तरीके से करके, और अनुष्ठान मतलब कि अपने बॉडी में अप्लाई करना, अपने फैमिली, फ्रेंड्स एंड देन सो ऑन आप प्रैक्टिस करना. दिस आर द 3 मेन रूल्स टू स्टडी दी समिता. सो और ऑल्सो हमारा लास्ट क्वेश्चन यहाँ से एंड हुआ था कि आयुर्वेद बायोलॉजी हाउ इट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम सेल बायोलॉजी और मॉडर्न बायोलॉजी. तो सर ने ये बताया था कि जो हमारा आयुर्वेद बायोलॉजी है, जहाँ पे दोष धातु मल मूलम सदा देहस्य, तो हम जो सारे स्ट्रक्चर्स और ऑल द स्ट्रक्चर्स आर फंक्शनली क्लासिफाइड. वेयरएज जो मॉडर्न बायोलॉजी है वो प्योर साइंस है केवल, लेकिन अप्लाइड साइंस नहीं है. सेल बाय सेल है, टिश्यू बाय टिश्यू है, बट अप्लाइड साइंस नहीं है. वेयरएज आयुर्वेदा बायोलॉजी इज अ अप्लाइड साइंस, फंडामेंटल साइंस एंड क्लिनिकल साइंस. सो दिस आर द बेसिक डिफरेंस जो कि सर ने
starts from basic thing itself.
Yes
like
sir.
Bios and logos is knowledge of life, but Ayurveda is knowledge of nature of life. There is a slight difference. So we are learning Sopawa. What all are the nature of its behavior? So what all lakshanas will be produced, what all things are there, plus how it interacts and responds to the external environment. So that both the natures are explained. So that is the first difference. Then
yes sir,
body is identified along with its environment. There is no Padartha Vijnana in biology, so they don't know the relation between laws of nature and Sharira. Right?
Yes sir.
And everything is studied separately, like cells, tissues, organs. So they don't know how multiple pathologies happen in a body, or how we can manage all the diseases with a single principle. So we are having so many disease conditions together: high blood pressure, diabetes, gallbladder stone, or so many other conditions. So we can manage with one same principle, as we know the interconnection between all these intricate phenomena. Right?
Right.
And how we can assess the external factors. How external factors will be producing with what mechanism. Everything can be assessed by this laws of nature.
Yes, sir.
So that is the most important thing. Like this is applied knowledge. It is not just knowledge of life or knowledge of nature of factors we are identifying. Yeah.
So, with that, sir has concluded the difference between both of them. Also, sir, there is one question from Lucknow. Multiple question from whom side it is echoing?
Questions
My
are there.
voice is clear, sir. Sir, my
I
voice
didn't
is
hear the
clear.
question.
Sir, I didn't. Everybody, please mute the mic. Okay. How to identify what is right? How to identify what is right? How to know what Ayurveda teachers, doctor is teaching is right or wrong? Because nowadays there are many seminars and most of the speakers share references and prove the point by shloka. How I will be able to know that what he or she is saying is right? As a student, whom to trust when you do not have any knowledge or half knowledge? How to confirm anything from Samhita, and how will be someone able to confirm? Because first is someone who do not know Sanskrit, and someone second, if someone knows Sanskrit but they do not know how to logically apply that.
So if you are ignorant, how will you know?
Yes, sir.
If you are ignorant, how do you know that somebody telling is right or wrong? So you need to get equipped, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that is the only way to. Ignorance is the cause. Right.
Also, sir,
Science
suppose.
is always applied. So
Yes, sir.
applied knowledge is to be applied and checked whether it's right or not.
Right.
So if one is writing 20 medicines and saying that he is addressing Pajana or he is doing Chodhana, so that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So Shastra Artha, how to find out is different. And Shastra Artha, we have to identify in the patient also. That's also equally important. When Sanskrit slokas are, how to understand the meanings of slokas are mentioned as Shastra Artha. Adasya Pragridam Bhutva. Desha Kala Andaranicha Tandra Kartur Abhipraya Upayamscha Artham Adishe. So how to understand the Artha is Adasya Pragridam Bhutva. You have to find out the context. So if Samathadu Samastasu Shreshta Nindya Vidoshaja, their dosha is mentioned as sadhu. So you should not think doshas as sadhus. You have to understand the context. In which context it is told like this. So with Pragridam, in some contexts, doshas are told as malas. By Pragopa Hetustu, Soir Nidayanir Pragvita Malaha, which is mentioned in Jora. So there malas are doshas only. So based on the context, you have to identify the meaning. Desha Kala Andrani. So in which desha it is mentioned or which season it is mentioned. In extreme cold climate, whether it is mentioned or so based on desha kala Tandra Kartur Apipraya. What is the opinion of Tandra Kartu who has authored that Samhita? Plus Upayamsha, Tandra Yuktis. So there are certain things, Arthapati, which directly mentioning is not there. You have to identify by that links. So there are certain links with which you can identify the meanings, with which you can identify the meaning of that sloka. Like Laku Dravya, we can identify. So, for example, last time also I told Shali Shashtigadin Lakunyabi Matra Pekshini Bhavandi. But that alone is not enough. If you know that it is Laku also, it depends on the quantity which he consumes. If he consumes more, Lekhu becomes Guru, right? Along with that, so how much quantity he has to consume is Apyavaharna Shaktiya, Jarana Shaktiya. What was the Ahara Shakti the subject was having? Again, not only Ahara Shakti, whether all the Parinamagara Bhavas are in properly functioning or not. Also, how he is consuming that Lekhu Ahara. Ahara Vidhi Vishesha Ayatanas are there. Upyoga Samstha, Upyoga, so many factors are there. So, we need to understand Lekhu with so many other things, right? It is not Lekhu directly. So, that is Shastra. Again, when we are applying in a patient, when we are applying in something, we need to know so many things regarding that subject. We need to know his unique environment. We need to know what all things he had done before, what he is going to do afterwards. All these things are important. So, in the patient, how to apply. Then only we will be able to understand the true meaning of that sloka, true meaning of that shastra, right? So, shastrartha could be learned by understanding the Sanskrit meaning. But if it has to become your buddhi, you have to do it in yourself or in other subjects, and continuously you have to apply that intelligence. Shastra karma anushilanena. You have to samskurvi the prajna. So it is not immediately you can learn the meaning, but the true intention you can identify only after continuous practice of Shastra Artha Karma. It is not experience of 20 years or 23 years. It is Shastrartha Karma experience, which will culture your intelligence and you will develop wisdom. That wisdom is Shastrartha Jnana.
In order to add some point, मैं ये बोलूंगी कि जैसे लोग बोलते हैं कि how to differentiate कि क्या सही knowledge मिल रही है, क्या गलत knowledge मिल रही है. I would say कि वो science based, evidence based की जितनी publications हैं वो पढ़ें, seminars attend करें, क्योंकि from there only I started to questioning all my professors and I started to learning and applying the science in the true manner. Because क्योंकि जब हमें कोई अगर एक ही सोर्स है अगर हमारे पास और अगर हमें वो चीज पता है उसके बाद भी अगर हम इतने इग्नोरेंट हैं कि हम उसे सीख नहीं रहे हैं तो ये हमारी गलती है, किसी और की गलती नहीं है. So it should be a small start, but it should be a start.
It will be true when teacher as well as the student both are able to apply and get the same result.
Yes, sir. So we have briefed the episode 1. Now we will start the questions of episode 2. Harini, please ask the question.
Sir, what is Shastra and the Shastrartha, and how could it be practically applied and understood?
Second part I didn't hear.
Sir, what is Shastra and the Shastrartha, and how practically it could be learned and understood?
I just explained this. So practically means you cannot apply directly something. So there are Upadeshas, Nirdeshas, Adeshas, everything. And Siddhantas we are identifying. When patient comes, we are identifying from the present. What all Lakshanas are present, we are identifying the past. That he might have taken these Nidanas. So that is Anumana. And once you identify the status, you have to assess so many things. Yoga Madhu Pariksheda, Tadanandara Maushadam, Tadak Karma Pishat Paschat. You have to think of treatment or application afterwards only. So, Yoga Pariksha, Yogi Pariksha, Peshaja Pariksha, all these have to be done. So, for Yoga Pariksha, there are so many factors. Yogam, Nidana, Pragrupa, Lakshana, Upashya, Samprapti. Yogi Pariksha, you have to go for Prakriti, Vikriti, Sara, Samhanana, Sattva, Satya, Pramana, Ahara Shakti, Vyayama Shakti, Vayas. So many things have to be understood. So that's why it's told Tushin Desham Sukshma Sukma Samikshesha Dosha Aushadha Nirupane. So once you understand the Shastrarthas, you have to apply this, apply the Yukti, and determine the exact treatment principle. So if you don't have the knowledge which is applied knowledge, like what will be in the patient, what will be in the subject's unique environment, these lakshanas, how it will be modified, how these nidanas will be acting in such an individual. Such knowledge, if it is not there, just slokas and their meanings if you are knowing, you will not be able to apply. So application needs so much intelligence. Like you have to identify the cause, you have to identify the exact mechanism with which it's happening. You have to apply and determine the treatment principle and how to apply in that patient. Again, it's different. And when stages change, how it should be modified. All these are based on Shastrartha Jnana. So, Shastrartha Jnana, if it is not proper, your Pratipatti Jnana also will be distorted. Pratipatti Jnana is how to apply. Yatha Pratipattavya, tasya tatha vidha anusthana Jnana. Exact way of application. So, in some people, Agni should be increased by Snehapana. In some, it should be given by Vicharana Sneha only. In some, it should be done by Rukshana. In some, it should be done by Anilomana. So, it depends on the subject. So, how to do is, and exactly how to apply is Pratipatti Jnana. So, Shastrartha Jnana plus Pratipatti Jnana helps in exact application. Shastra is what we learn, slokas which are shortest forms we are learning, and Shastrartha is Sanskrit meaning plus applied meaning, what you have to find in the patient or how you are understanding in the patient is applied knowledge of Shastrarthas, and assessing all these things and applying in the perfect way to cure the disease is Pratipatti Jnana. So Shastrartha Jnana and Pratipatti Jnana is the sequence. You cannot directly go for Pratipatti Jnana without Shastra Jnana and Shastrartha Jnana.
So my next question is, how Ayurveda, which is considered as age-old in nowadays, termed as traditional system of knowledge, would be applied in present day without research and sufficient data? And the second part in this, how Ayurveda is applied science as it is not updated for centuries.
First thing, as it's considered as traditional system of knowledge, that is why development is not happening, because all the authorities are considering it as tradition. Traditional science, there is no such traditional science. Tradition is which is blind following, so without any logics. So maybe Westerners are not allowing us to change that thing. Since theirs is only science, they believe like that. And if we tell that Shastra is the true science, then their significance gets reduced. No? So we are always sidelined or suppressed as traditional system of knowledge. So actually, it's not traditional system; it is scientific system. So Shastra is the base. We have got all the Siddhantas, Upadeshas, Nirdeshas, and Pramanas to apply. So as we have got all the basic things, we know the nature of systematic knowledge of the nature, and we know the methods to reverse and bring back to normalcy or regulate the internal environment, regulate the health. We have got principles with which we can regulate the internal environment and bring back the health. So we are doing in Western system, they are doing inductive reasoning. They don't know exactly what the drug is going to do. So they will be doing some study in a population, and they will be getting some benefits and risks of suppression or alteration, and they will be publishing that, and if benefits outweigh risks, they will be considering it as approved drug. It is approved drug. It is not bheshaja according to our science. तदेव युक्तं भैषज्यं यद् आरोग्याय कल्पते is भैषज्य भेषज. There they are doing only blocking and masking, so it cannot be considered as medicine. So it is drugs. So approved drug which produces benefits and risks. But ours is not like that. We have the science and we know how to reverse the pathology. So ours is deductive reasoning. We are from the science, from the general principles, we are making it specific to the individual, not specific to general. They will be studying in a population and they are making it specific. So their reasoning is entirely exactly opposite to ours. So the basic thing a science need is they should have scientific knowledge as the base, which we have. They don't have. So they will not be knowing the relationship between the environment and the body, and they will not be knowing the nature of Sharira. They will not be knowing the nature of drug, and they will be applying. But we know everything. Everything is known to us, and we are applying. So as we have learned the nature and nature of factors that are affecting are only explained. Like Swadu Amla Lavanoshmani. So Swadu Amla Lavana, it's a general explanation. With it we can identify so many things. Nature of the process, nature of how to reverse, all these are mentioned by explaining the nature. As nature will not change, always nature is same. Swabhava samsikta lakshana. The nature of Sharira will not change. Bhava Swabhava nityatva. Response of Sharira to various external factors also will not change. Health is same. Diseases are same. Mode of manifestation, cause mechanisms are getting changed, but manifestation is one and the same. Bhava Swabhava nityatvam and Swabhava samsiddha lakshanas are same, one and the same. So Ayurvedic science need not be updated. What is needed is how to apply that we have to learn. So updating should happen in our minds, our intellect. So for a physician to become things which are needed is Murdiman, Hedu Yukti, Chidatma Pratipattiman, Kishag Aushada Samyogi, Shivsam Daktumarthavi. So these qualities when present, he can apply and he can make reverse the disease. It is not based on latest developed drugs or new disease that is important. We should have good smriti, good hedu yukti. We should be able to identify the cause and mechanism. Also, we should be able to determine the treatment principle and reverse the disease by exact pratipatti jnana. Also, for a researcher, Srutam Buddhi Smritir Dakshya. Vag Visuddhi Samudhayam Asrayam Parikshakam. So, nowhere it is mentioned that they should do research and have applied in latest diseases what all are to be done. No such research is mentioned. They should have good Srutam, Smriti, Dakshyam, expertise. By continuous application, they will be developing good thing, wisdom, Shastrartha, Karmanishimnena, Samskruvita Prajna, and they will be having good expertise, Dakshyam. Also, Vak Visuddhi. They should be talking truth only. they should have peace of mind. So all these are the factors needed, and it need not be updated. Science need not be updated. Our intellects should be updated to become a researcher as well as to become a practitioner or physician. In both these, no way it is mentioned that we have to do new diseases when emerge. We have to do so much research and find out what to do. Because the nature is mentioned. So Swabhava, Samsiddha, Lakshanas and Bhava, Swabhava are always Nitya. It is eternal. The science was found 5,000 years ago. And also we are applying all these principles in present day. We are able to cure even what they tell us latest viral infections. We are doing Hastarabha to viral fever first aid program. So we are not giving medicine even with our principle. We are curing so many infections. So that is the brilliance of that science. Nowadays, people are thinking that new diseases have emerged. So new medicines are to be found. Research based on new drugs are happening in CCRIS. So when we are focusing on medicines, you forget about disease, patient status. So we are treating a patient, not we are treating lab reports or a disease. We are treating patients. So we need to know about the patient. Yoga Madhu Vidikshena, Yoga Rogi status is to be confirmed. Then you have to think of what sort of treatment principle is to be adopted and then start treatment. It's not like you have research in this disease, this drug is research. That is Western system, and ours need not be updated as long as nature remains the same. Because with laws of nature, we have siddhantas and other things to understand the natural phenomena and how to regulate and control the natural phenomena is also mentioned with our principles.
थैंक यू सर. एक्चुअली मैं भी ट्रेडिशनल के ऊपर मैं एक वर्ड बोलना चाहूंगी कि ट्रेडिशनल का मतलब होता है परंपरा. परंपरा हर दिन बदलती है. आपके घर में कुछ होगी, मेरी घर में कुछ होगी, नॉर्थ में कुछ होगी, साउथ में कुछ होगी. तो लेकिन साइंस कभी नहीं बदलता है. जो साइंस 5000 साल पहले जो सिद्धांत थे वो भी आज एप्लीकेबल करके हम चीजों को क्योर कर पा रहे हैं. लेकिन ट्रेडिशनल हर दिन बदलती है. बट इफ वी जब तक हम उसे
That's also a wrong interpretation of slokas. Sanskrit wrong interpretation. It is written as Paramparya Jnana. Paramparya means the knowledge was there before itself, from time immemorial. That's why Brahma Smrutva Ayusho Veda. Brahma remembered and told or taught. So it was there from time immemorial. We cannot process when it started. So that knowledge was there throughout all these 5,000 years or more than that. So that is what is mentioned as Paramparya. It's not the blind things which are followed from time to time. It's not like that. So that wrong interpretation of the word Parambara resulted in all these things.
So true.
So in medical colleges also they are teaching from 100 years. So we cannot say that it is Paramparya knowledge. No. Mathematics we are learning from so many years. That doesn't mean it's not traditional knowledge. It has got its own logics, siddhantas, theorems.
Right. Yeah. Right, sir. Sir, does learning for university examination today contributes to becoming quality physician tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what I told. Shastrartha Jnana is theoretical knowledge. And Shastra is to be learned. And Shastrartha, exact meaning of those verses should be taught, plus exact application also to be taught. If that is not taught, then university examination, if you score high marks by writing so many slokas, you are not knowing the exact meaning, exact application, and definitely you will not be knowing Pratibhakti Jnana also. So the basic thing lies in understanding the exact meaning of Sanskrit verses. So Shastrartha Jnana, both theoretically as well as practically, Shastrartha Jnana has to be taught. Then only this university exam will have some significance. Otherwise, those who are able to mug up so many slokas will be writing so many slokas and they will be getting good marks. But there will be a big zero when they pass out. Theory is different from practical in that you need so much yukti, anumana and yukti.
Yes.
It's tasmat satyapi nirdeshe kurya guhyam swayam kriya. Even though there is mentioning in Shastra, you have to apply your intelligence and find out in the patient. So translation into the patient is more important. If that is not taught, if that is not learned, that if the student is not able to understand, then university examinations are of no use.
Yes, sir. Sir, one question I forgot to ask from episode 1. Sir, as you told that everything which is mentioned in Ayurveda is in Vidhiling, then what is the significance of Vidhiling, sir? One example, can you tell?
What is told in Ayurveda is?
Everything which is told in Ayurveda is Vidhiling. In Vidhiling, it has been told, as you told in episode 1.
Yeah.
So, what is the significance of that?
Vidhiling is you cannot apply directly. All these are general things. When we are applying in patient, it varies. You cannot strictly say that Brahme Muhurte Uttishte. So you cannot strictly say that to all. It's not applicable to all. But when Upadeshas are given, it's given as advices. It's not always Adesha. So most of these things are Upadeshas or Nirdeshas. So it has to be modified according to the status, according to the subject status, according to the disease status, according to the environment. All these are to assess and finally determine. So, Grame Muhurte Uttishte or Apyagna Madharit Nityam, all are general principles, and in Nirdeshas also, it's like that. There are some instances where it has to be strictly followed. Naktam Priti Punjita. So, wherever there are contraindications, that has to be strictly followed. That also is mentioned as Upadesha only, in Vidhiling only. It's those advices that you have to sensibly apply. For that, Vidhiling is used.
Yeah. Sonal, please ask the last question and then we will wind up this session.
Okay. So, as there is a contradiction in science, means in Sanhita, for example, अष्टांग हृदय में जो बताया गया है तेल के बारे में, उसमें तेल के बारे में बताया त्वक दोषकृत और चक्षुष, जबकि सुश्रुत ने बताया है कि त्वक प्रसादनम चक्षुष, और वही अष्टांग हृदय में अभ्यंग के लिए बताया गया है कि दृष्टि प्रसादन पुष्टायु स्वप्नसुत त्वक्त दाढ़कृत. ये ऐसे जैसे कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन होते हैं, तो उसके बारे में कैसे सोचना चाहिए, या फिर वो कैसे दूर करें, उससे होने वाला जो कंफ्यूजन है. जैसे कि हम मैम हमेशा एग्जाम्पल देते हैं हाथी वाला, कि कोई लोग सिर्फ कान देखते हैं, कोई सूंड, कोई पूंछ, कोई पैर, तो उसमें पूरा हाथी कैसे देखे, मतलब एज आयुर्वेद एज अ होल, मतलब पंचभूत पंचमहाभूत त्रिदोष ये सब अलग अलग नहीं है, ये सब एक साथ कैसे देखें.
the contradictions which you think are not exactly the contradictions, because there are so many references that Disha Anya Shesham api Swayam Uheda Buddhiman. When things are told, you are identifying the Rasa Guna Virya Vipaka Prabhavas. So Ushna Virya will be doing these things, Shita Virya will be doing these things. So Ushna Sparsha, and though it is Shita Sparsha and Ushna Virya. So what all things can happen, that we have to, for theoretical purpose, for knowing properly, we can understand with the science itself. But like contradictions, like in some Samhitas, Rekta is mentioned as dosha, or there are contradictions in classification of Pandu. Pandu is classified as 5 in Charaka and 8 in Susruta. So people think that there are so much contradictions, and acharyas were not sure of such things. It is spread like so. There all we need to always go for adasya pragrita bhutva. In what context it is mentioned, and Tantrakarta Apipraya, on what basis Tantrakarta has explained all those things. Plus, Tantra Yuktis are also to be applied. And for Jnana Varthana, Buddhimadantu Udaharana Matrameva. What all are said in Shastra is just examples for Buddhiman. You can find out the logics for all these things. Shastra, it is mentioned in a specific way, and in a sutra form. From that, you have to decipher the meanings and you have to apply. If you apply directly also, it will be having the same effect without thinking also. But for further application, for independent thinking, for independent developing, you need to apply it. You need to understand by culturing your intelligence. There are so many contradictions in various Samhitas. Charaka, last time also I told, they artha pratyayana para. They were only focusing on objective of the Shastra, how to make the objective reach the audience. That was the only objective in Charaka Samhita and Sutra Samhita. But from the time of Ashtanga Sangraha, Sarva Tantrani Adha Praya Samdritya Ashtanga Sangraha. All the Tantras he has compiled and took the most essential thing and made Ashtanga Sangraha. In that, Asthana Vistara Akshepa, everything was rectified. So, Punaravati dosha was there in Charaka, so many places, Gadya and Padya, it was explained. But Punarukta Varjita, Ashtanga Sangraha is devoid of Punarukti or Asthana Vistara Akshepa. Excess explanation or less explanation was removed and only focused on Hedu Linga Ushada Skanda, Traya Matra Nibandhana. Only focused on Hedu Linga and Ushada. So the cause and Lakshanas developing and what all are the remedial measures. So only he was concentrating on, Acharya Vakrita was concentrating on Hedulinga Aushada. Also, Vinigudha Arthana, Pradeshanam Prakashaka. Vinigudha, which was not properly explained in Charaka, Susudra, where Pradeshanam Prakashaka. So it was more clarified in Ashtanga Sangraha. And also, Swa Anya Tantra Virodhina, where there is controversy or contradictions in Anya Tantras, in different Samhitas. All those contradictions were rectified in Ashtanga Sangraha. So, Anya Tantra Virodhinam Bhuvishtam Vinivartaka. So, it is more or less rectified completely. Plus, Yuganurupa Sandarpo. He has updated it also. So, he has rectified all those Asthana Vistaracheva Punaruktadi Varjita. He has made it like that. Also, contradictions which were there, that was also removed and focused only on Hedu, Linga Aushada Skandha, and finally Vipagena Karishyade. So it was explained in a separate manner. So with all this, first you can learn Ashtanga Sangraha, and whatever you wanted to confirm, you can go for Charaka Samhita or Susruta Samhita, or it can be used for higher studies. So first you can learn, easy to learn is Praya Sara Dharochaya. The most lessons is explained in Ashtanga Hridaya, and its explanation you can refer in Ashtanga Sangraha, and for further studies you can refer Charaka and Susruta.
Okay, sir. Sir, so individuals should use yukti, or how to use yukti in while running Sanhita.
Sir, in order to extend Sonal question, I want to ask this ki the yukti term which has been misused very much in Ayurveda by Ayurveda fraternity. Because as they say that in Samhita contraindications are there, so individual yukti is all that matter. So so ending on this point only, because we will take this yukti question in the next episode, as we are running out of time. With all your permission, sir.
Yeah. So everybody thinks that it is my yukti is different from somebody else's yukti, and SDBA is something else. People are thinking like that. Let audience explain that. Let them give their opinion.
So we will cover.
We will cover that in next session.
Yes, sir. We will cover this next session, as it is a continuous session. We are doing in episodes, so there are so many questions जो है कि अभी तक हमारे पास आए हैं. We have just cleared the first year topics की पदार्थ विज्ञान, संस्कृत, हिस्ट्री, इनके सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है, करिकुलम में कैसे उसे जो है कि हम चेंज कर सकते हैं. Likewise, we will go to second year.
I would like to add one more. Anatomy and physiology also should be learned in subjects, not limited to lab practicals. When we are learning physiology, we need to learn Prakriti, Sara, Samana, Sattva, Satya, Pramana, Ahara Shakti, Vyayama Shakti, Vayas, etc. in patients and subjects. Then only we will be able to apply. Lab investigation, how to interpret lab investigation results, that can be added along with that, and how to interpret in Ayurvedic science. Otherwise, there is no need of lab practicals. We are not going to become lab technicians. Anatomy also, we have to learn all the organs. Pratyakshado hi edrishtam shastra drishtam chet bhavet. Samasado tadubhyam jnana vivartanam. What we have learned in Shastra, we have to see in Pratyaksha also. Pratyakshado edrishtam shastra drishtam chet bhavet. Puyo jnana vivartanam. When we are seeing all those organs and other things, it's jnana vivartanam. So, along with this practicals, we need to understand marma khada or various roga margas in patients, in subjects. What all are happening in hernia patient. So, we can assess functionally as well as structurally. So, all those should be in practicals, not like lab practicals for identifying cholesterol or sugar or blood, CBC. What now present curriculum is only concentrated on Western things, but nobody knows to interpret in Ayurvedic terms, or why they are doing all this tests. They don't know. If they know the value of sugar also, they don't know how to manage or how it's developing. In Ayurvedic science, they are not able to understand and apply. So it's of no use. So what we need to learn in all the three papers, basic principles, and anatomy and physiology, with more importance to practical also, more importance to Ayurvedic aspect. We need to learn everything, but practical should be only more anatomy. You can have this organ and other things, but physiology should be completely Ayurvedic portion only, not this lab investigations. That is waste of time as well as it's of no use. Be again, you will not be knowing what you are learning, whether you are learning Western science or Ayurvedic science, and basics are distorted, Sanskrit is distorted, Padartha is distorted, so totally confused state. You will be going to second year. Then what will happen, you know.
So accurate, sir. I guess कोई भी अगर फर्स्ट ईयर का पास बच्चा ये वीडियो देखेगा तो he can or she can easily relate to what you are saying, because हम सब जो है कि लैब टेक्नीशियन बन के आते हैं फर्स्ट ईयर में,
This
सेकेंड
is
ईयर
not a
में
criticism.
बॉटनिकल.
This is the basic awareness which one should have.
Yes,
This is
sir.
not
Completely agree.
criticizing anybody. So curriculum, it's high time to change the curriculum.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Right.
we will not get Ayurveda physicians. We will never get Bishak.
Exactly, sir. सो लाइकवाइज जैसे हमने फर्स्ट ईयर को कंप्लीट किया, वैसे ही सेकेंड थर्ड ईयर के करिकुलम को और डिस्कस करते हुए हम सारे उन क्वेश्चंस को लेंगे जो आपने अभी तक हमें भेजे हैं, जो कि हम एक साथ नहीं ले सकते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ टाइम शॉर्टेज, बट येस वी विल डेफिनेटली टेक योर ऑल क्वेश्चंस इन द नेक्स्ट एपिसोड. टिल देन साइनिंग ऑफ. नमस्ते सर.
Yeah.
Namaste,
Thank you very much.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you for the nice interactive session.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.